It's another busy week at Disneyland, and a few quiet shifts could change your next park day. And park hopping is about to get a lot easier. A rumored closure just got delayed by years. DCA is heading into a rare festival gap. Avengers Campus may finally solve a seating problem, and Celebrate Soulfully is closing out with a big finale. Here's what you need to know. Hey everyone, it's Julie from Main Street U.S.A. Studios. Big change coming to Disneyland later this year, and this one's about flexibility. And Disney has officially announced that the 11 a.m. park hopper restriction is going away in 2026. We don't have an exact date yet, just later this year, but the policy shift is confirmed. And so since the parks reopen, as you may know, guests with park hopper tickets and magic key holders have had to wait until 11 a.m. to switch between Disneyland and DCA and vice versa. That rule is being eliminated. And so once this update takes effect, you'll obviously be able to move between the two parks at any time during operating hours. So logistically, you will still need to make that starting park reservation for your first park of the day. The reservation system stays in place, but after you enter that first park, hopping will be unrestricted. So technically, you could walk into Disneyland and then just walk straight over to DCA no matter what time of day. We're absolutely loving this one. This is a pretty major return to those pre-pandemic freedoms we used to have, and something longtime pass holders have been asking for years. And it gives people a lot more flexibility to chase ride times and make strategic plans around rides. And we will update as soon as Disney confirms the exact start date of this change. And speaking of changes, here's one that might surprise you. We were surprised to hear it. Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue is not closing anytime soon. And despite earlier reports that the ride would shut down within weeks to make way for the new Avatar expansion, Disney has now confirmed the attraction will remain open into 2027. So it is still temporary for Hollywoodland, and honestly probably a welcome one for families. And Disney is saying that this decision was strategic. So with all the major construction happening around the resort, they want to preserve ride capacity. So having more places for families to go during this heavy build phase. And really interesting and important, that's something that we learned, Disney says this extension will not delay the Avatar project. So site prep and the early construction work will still move forward in surrounding areas just as been planned. All we know is this gives us a little bit more time to ride the Monsters, Inc. ride. And Lunar New Year officially comes to an end today, February 22nd, with Lunar New Year over and the Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival not kicking off until March 6th. We're looking at a true 2-week lull, something I feel like we don't see very often at DCA. Park has become known for moving almost seamlessly from one festival to the next, so we're really liking this gap. So for a couple weeks, there'll be no festival booths, no sip and savor passes, just regular park operations. And that said, Food and Wine is right around the corner. The 2026 Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival runs March 6th through April 27th and celebrates California's culinary scene with limited-time marketplaces, creative small plates, craft beers, specialty wines, and inventive cocktails throughout the park if you have not attended one in the past. But one thing about the festival is already live and bookable. The beverage education and tasting seminars over at Sonoma Terrace are now open for reservations. These are priced at $30 per person. They're guided tasting experiences led by industry professionals and Disney mixologists, typically about 30 to 45 minutes long. So these will include learning about wine varietals, cocktail techniques, and flavor profiles. And of course, you'll get to sample along the way. Availability for these is limited, and like I said, they are bookable today. These seminars have been known to fill up quickly, and they do only run on Saturdays and Sundays at either 12 noon or 2 p.m. We will also be on guard for the foodie guide to drop, which should be dropping any day now. And next up, we might be getting more seating in Avengers Campus. Disney has filed a permit to turn the old FastPass distribution structure near Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout over in Avengers Campus into an outdoor seating area. So if you've been going to Disneyland long enough, you probably remember when FastPass wasn't something you booked on your phone. You physically walked up to those kiosks, put your park ticket in, and got a little paper return time. That's exactly what this building used to be. One of those shaded FastPass kiosk spots back when the ride was Tower of Terror. And then when FastPass went digital and became what is now Lightning Lane, the structure just kind of stayed there. We're super excited about this one. Avengers Campus desperately needs more seating. If you're not eating at Pim's Test Kitchen, finding a table can be really difficult. And next up, something that really doesn't happen very often. During this week's intense wind and rainstorm in Southern California, a tree fell on Main Street USA inside Disneyland. This was on Tuesday, February 17th. It happened near the Plaza Inn during Sweethearts Night, the After Dark event. And there seems to have been some tables set up in this area that usually don't have tables. The good news is everyone was okay. 2 guests were treated for minor injuries, and the situation was handled quickly by cast members and first aid. We will say this has been big news, but if this exact same thing had happened anywhere else, like at a shopping center or outdoor mall, it probably wouldn't have made headlines. Trees do fall in storms, it does happen. But when something unusual happens at Disneyland, it just feels bigger. Celebrate Soulfully is heading into its final stretch at the Disneyland Resort, with offerings wrapping up March 2nd. One of the biggest moments still ahead is Yolanda Adams performing February 28th, that's next week, at the Downtown Disney Live stage as part of the Celebrate Gospel concert. Adams is a Grammy-winning gospel powerhouse known for songs like Open My Heart and decades of influence in contemporary gospel music. But this concert does take place in Downtown Disney, meaning you do not need a park ticket to attend. Last year, if you attended Celebrate Soulfully celebrations, gospel artists were at the Fantasyland Theater. We are guessing since Bluey is currently being built there, the gospel shows had to be moved to Downtown Disney. And don't forget to try out the limited time dishes for Celebrate Soulfully at Tiana's Palace in New Orleans Square. You'll find the French Quarter Fried Chicken Bowl featuring spicy honey glazed fried chicken served with baked macaroni and cheese and collard greens. Also over at Lamplight Lounge Boardwalk Dining in DCA, the New Orleans barbecue shrimp includes Cajun spiced shrimp over cheesy polenta with peppers, celery, and a rich barbecue butter sauce. Both of these available through March 2nd. In closure and construction updates starting in Disneyland, August Cantina will reopen in about 3 weeks on March 14th. We really can't wait to see what happens in there because this one should have some timeline-related updates. Jungle Cruise is closed for an extended period with no reopening date for over a month. Space Mountain closes tomorrow, February 23rd, reopening February 27th. This one is short, but it is a major attraction, so worth noting if you're planning a midweek trip. Edelweiss Snacks reopens this Friday, February 27th. This was a quick turnaround, so we normally wouldn't expect much, but it did look really busy behind the fences, so we're going to see what happens there. The Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer Island closes briefly March 2nd through 6th. And new this week, Roger Rabbit closes on March 30th. And also new this week, the monorail will close on March 30th as well. We do not have a reopening date for either of these yet. Over at DCA, Grizzly River Run is still closed with no reopening date now through April 1st. Jumpin' Jellyfish closes February 23rd, tomorrow reopening March 6th. And Golden Zephyr closes on March 9th, reopening March 18th. And if you haven't been to Disney lately, the Downtown Disney Esplanade is still majorly blocked off for the new Porto's Bakery, so something to be aware of there. And at the time of this video making, the new Earl of Sandwich building is still all covered up. And we haven't talked about Tortilla Joe's recently, but the former Tortilla Joe's has had no movement for weeks. This one has gone quiet, but we are excited because the build phase should be coming soon.
Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe for more.